Good morning. Let us begin with reason and clarity. The way you rise sets the tone not just for the day, but for the kind of person you choose to be. When you open your eyes, you're not just waking from sleep, you're returning to life. So greet the day not with complaints, but with resolve. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Do not rush to your burdens. Do not reach for your distractions. Instead, turn inward and prepare your mind like a soldier. Prepares for duty. Life is a series of tasks, some pleasant, many not, but none are beyond you. If you meet them with discipline and a just mind, most people begin their day dragged down by worry, fixating on what they lack, what they fear, or what they cannot control. But you are not most people. A Stoic does not flinch at discomfort. A Stoic does not beg for perfect conditions. Instead, they ask, what can I do today that is worthy of the person I seek to become? From this moment on, let this be your first thought today. I will act with reason and virtue. I will not be ruled by impulse or fear. You cannot control the world, but you can control your response to it. You can choose courage over complaint, discipline over indulgence, wisdom over noise. You are not at the mercy of fortune. You are responsible for your character. If the day brings difficulty, meet it like Epictetus would. Difficulties show men what they are. You are not fragile. You have endured before and you will endure again. If fear arises, remember, this fear is just the anticipation of pain or loss. It is not the thing itself. It has no power, except what you grant it. It is not things that disturb us. Epictetus said, but our opinions about them. So strip your thoughts of excess, speak to yourself with calm truth, not inflated emotion instead of affirmations. Try this reflection. What is within my control today? How will I conduct myself regardless of what happens? What virtue can I practice in each moment? Patience, justice, courage, temperance. And remember, you owe gratitude not just for the good things, but also for the trials. They are your training ground. Seneca put it best, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. So be grateful for the chance to strengthen your character. You are not here to chase comfort. You are here to live well. Each day brings an opportunity, not for perfection, but for progress through virtue. You are not here to have all the answers. You are here to practice wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Day by day, moment by moment mistakes. They are part of the human experience. Even the wisest Stoic stumbled, as Seneca wrote, no man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom is earned through trial error and the discipline to reflect. So do not fear failure. Embrace it as your teacher. Let every challenge you face today shape your character. Rather than break your spirit when something goes wrong, ask, what is within my control here? How can I act with virtue in response? Don't wait for the perfect time. There is no such thing. The present moment is all you ever own while we wait for life. Marcus Aurelius warned, life passes, so act not with frenzy, but with purpose, not out of fear, but from clarity, even when the path ahead is unclear. Take the step that is most just, most courageous, most disciplined. And when self-doubt arises, as it always does do, not deny it. Instead, examine it. Ask, is this belief useful? Is it based in reason or fear? You are capable not because of luck or external validation, but because you have the power to choose your response to life to improve yourself each day, and do endure what you must if the world doubts you. Let them, you are not responsible for their opinion. Epictetus reminds us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. What matters is not that others believe in you, but that you are committed to living well in thought, in word, in deed. Your past does not define you. What matters is what you do with this day. The only one in your possession you've endured hardship before. You've walked through fire and emerged tempered, not broken. That is proof enough of your strength. So don't waste energy rehearsing imagined failures. Don't let fear stop you from starting the Stoic path. does not require perfection, it demands commitment to the process. Start where you are, use what you have, do what is right, and keep going. Success in the Stoic sense is not glory or praise. It is living in accordance with nature, with virtue, and with peace of mind. As Marcus Aurelius said, just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. Every setback you encounter is not a sign of failure, it is a call to cultivate virtue. To the Stoic, challenges are not curses, they are exercises for the soul. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. So today decide not with emotion but with intention. Decide to meet this day with reason, discipline, and courage. Do not wait for ideal circumstances, they may never come. And even if they did, they are not what define the wise. Your response does take action, however small. Not for glory or gain, but because it is in your nature to act with purpose. And tomorrow do the same, and the next day. That is how greatness is forged in quiet consistency. Not in grand proclamations on focusing on solutions. Most people awaken into worry. Their minds jump to what they lack. To debts owed, to duties feared, but a Stoic sees such thoughts as clouds passing, fleeting without substance unless clung to. Yes, life will present problems. That is not a failing, that is reality. What matters is not the presence of difficulty, but the clarity of your response. So when hardship comes, ask what lies within my control. Do not waste your strength railing against what is fixed. Conserve your energy for what you can change: your thoughts, your choices, your demeanor. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is not empty optimism, it is discipline of the mind when you focus on solutions. You are not denying difficulty, you are asserting sovereignty over your response. You are training your reason to lead rather than follow when others collapse into complaint. Choose instead to seek the next right step when others ask, why me ask? What can I do over time? This mindset becomes your armor. You become resilient, decisive, and centered on facing fear. Fear is part of the human experience. The Stoics never sought to eliminate it. They sought to understand and master it. Fear often arises not from real danger, but from imagined futures. It is the voice of the irrational self, the one that says you are not ready, or you might fail. But fear is not fact. It is simply emotion, a reflex of the body and mind. And what is the Stoic response? So what will you let fear prevent you from living in accordance with your principles? Will you allow it to silence reason? Fear will whisper before every noble act. It will test your resolve. But as Seneca reminded us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. You don't wait for fear to leave you. Move through it. You act anyway. You speak the truth anyway. You do the hard thing anyway. Not because you are fearless, but because you are brave. And bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the mastery of it every time you take action. Despite fear, you affirm your strength. You become more capable, more wise, more free today as you rise. Do not seek comfort or certainty. Seek virtue, seek clarity, seek courage. Tell yourself, whatever this day brings, I will face it with reason. I will not be ruled by fear. I will look for what I can control. I will act with purpose. I will grow through what I endure. Because the Stoic life is not about escaping hardship, it is about becoming equal to it. Think back on the moments when fear stood before you and you acted anyway. You may have spoken when silence was easier. You may have stepped forward when comfort urged retreat. And in those moments, you discovered something essential. Fear was never as powerful as it appeared. Fear expands in idleness. The longer you delay, the more monstrous it becomes. But the moment you act rationally, purposefully, it recedes. The Stoics knew this well. Fear is not an enemy to be slain, but an emotion to be understood. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Courage, then, is not the absence of fear. It is reason applied in the face of it. A Stoic does not wait to feel brave. A Stoic does what is right, whether or not fear is present. Fear signals that you are growing. Stretching, testing the limits of who you are, let it be a companion. To growth, not a jailer, every time you face it, you expand your world. You gain not just confidence, but also agency over your soul. And when fear whispers catastrophe, ask yourself calmly, is this truly so terrible? What's the worst that can happen? And can I endure it? More often than not, the answer is yes. And where it isn't, it is still endurable with virtue and clarity. You've endured loss, uncertainty, and pain. Before you are still standing, that is proof enough of your strength. Fear only wins if you submit your will to it. But when you act with courage, when you act in accordance with reason, you free yourself from its grasp on self-worth and nature. Now reflect on this truth: you are worthy, not because of achievement, praise, or perfection, but because you are a rational being with the capacity for virtue. Your worth is not a prize to be earned or a debt to be paid. It is intrinsic, rooted in your nature. The Stoics taught that every human, regardless of station or mistake, possesses inner dignity. You are not diminished by error, nor are you elevated by applause. You are made whole by your choices, by how you live. Justly, wisely, temperately, and courageously, do not measure yourself by wealth, status, or approval. These are fleeting and external, as Marcus Aurelius wrote. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor. Ask instead, have I acted with justice today? Did I control what I could and accept what I could not? Did I face discomfort with courage? If so, you are enough. The voice in your head that tells you you're not worthy, that is not truth, that is habit, it is untrained thought. And your work as a Stoic is to discipline it, to replace destructive internal chatter with clarity and self-respect. Speak to yourself as you would a friend, not with indulgence, but with compassion and honesty. When you fall short, acknowledge it, then return to the path when you succeed. Do not boast, remain humble and steady. I am not ruled by fear, I act with reason. I do not chase approval. I live in accordance with nature. I am not defined by others. I am defined by my character, and that is always within my control. This is the Stoic life, rooted, rational, and resilient. The world may change, but your response remains your own. You will know your strength not when life is easy, but when you stop tolerating that which saps your spirit, when you no longer give your consent to things unworthy of your time and soul, when you stop shrinking to please others and begin to live in harmony with your nature as a rational, sovereign being. Look not to others for validation. The admiration you may feel toward those who seem successful or serene should not become envy. Instead, understand this: they are not greater than you. They have simply made a different use of their reason. They have claimed their agency. So can you? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the opinion of 10,000 men is of no value, if none of them know what they are talking about. So do not wait for the world to declare you worthy. It cannot, your worth is not granted, it is inherent. You were born with it. You possess it as surely as you possess breath and reason. And the day you begin to act as if that is true is the day your life begins to realign with its intended course. This is not arrogance, it is not vanity, it is clarity. Your worth is not measured by applause, achievement, or perfection. It is measured only by your alignment with virtue, with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, on control and ownership. Say it now, not as affirmation, but as a recognition of truth. I am in control of my thoughts, my actions, and how I respond to what fate brings. Not your past, not other people's opinions, not external circumstances, only your own faculty of choice. What the Stoics called prohoresis is truly yours. Epictetus said it plainly: some things are up to us and some are not. Your job is to know the difference and master what is yours. Too often we yield our power, we blame the winds of fate for our failures. We delay action while waiting for ideal conditions. But the Stoic knows no one is coming to save you. It is your reason, your effort, your discipline that will shape your life. Look to those who live with purpose. Do you think they had perfect clarity, comfort, or certainty? No, they simply began. They acted, adjusted, endured, and through that practice they grew. You must do the same on thought and action. Your thoughts are the architects of your future. If you persist in telling yourself that you are stuck, helpless, or not enough, then so you will become. But if you begin to tell yourself, as a Stoic, would I have control over how I live? I can act with reason and virtue today. Then your life will begin to change, not all at once, but step by step through the discipline of daily action. Remember, mindset alone is not sufficient. The Stoics were not dreamers, they were doers. They knew that philosophy is a way of living, not just thinking, as Seneca wrote. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. So stop waiting for certainty, act, move forward. Even if the steps are small, don't let fear disguise itself as caution or wisdom. Don't delay your life under the illusion of preparation. There is no perfect path, there is only the next right step. Ask yourself, what am I in control of today? What action aligns with my values, not my emotions? What can I do now, not tomorrow, to move toward the life I ought to live? Final reflection. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not weak. You are a human being endowed with reason, with the capacity to choose. Virtue over comfort, discipline over ease, clarity over chaos. The Stoics believed that freedom lies in mastery of the self. So from this day forward, do not let external events determine your inner peace. Let your compass be virtue. Let your anchor be reason. Let your actions be deliberate. You were not made to drift. You were made to steer. Now go do what needs to be done, quietly, steadily, resolutely. As a Stoic would, you are not at the mercy of your circumstances. Your power lies not in what happens to you, but in how you meet, what happens with reason, with virtue, and with unshakable resolve. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Epictetus, you have faced much pain, failure, loss, doubt, and yet you are still here. You have endured what others might not have that as strength. Not the absence of pain, but the will to persist in spite of it. Strength is not loud. It is not boastful. It is quiet and stubborn. It is rising. One more time than you fall, it is acting. According to reason, when emotion begs you to retreat, it is staying the course, not because you feel certain, but because you are committed to your principles. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius, do not compare your strength to others. You are not walking their path, and they are not walking yours. They have not carried what you've carried. The only question that matters is this: have you shown up fully with what you were given? You've been through storms. You've survived nights when your mind was heavy and your heart was tired. You've endured failure, rejection, fatigue, and yet you rose. That is courage. That is resilience. That is the mark of someone who has not surrendered to despair. You may not always feel strong, but the Stoic does not rely on feelings to define what is real. The Stoic relies on action, on choice, on virtue. You have chosen to carry on, to think clearly, to act justly. That is enough, a warrior's mindset. You don't need anyone to name you strong. You don't need applause, attention, or permission. You know, you've been in the arena, you've bled, lost, learned, and kept going. There is no armor stronger than self-discipline. There is no shield more powerful than resilience. There is no weapon more reliable than a calm, rational mind. When fear visits, greet it like a familiar messenger. You are here because I am stepping into the unknown. That means I am growing. Then act anyway. Let others panic. Let others quit. You are a Stoic. You are not fragile. You are governed by reason. Not chaos, you are built for hardship. Not broken by it. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Seneca, so let today bring what it will. You will meet it with poise, with discipline, with endurance. Not because life is easy, but because you are stronger than you think.